Hey, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are in the world, and whatever time you guys are watching this video. This video, I basically took some time to think about, to kind of like put together, because in this video, I'm just going to be talking about some misconceptions or some common mistakes that consumers are making day to day with dealing with their mobile service provider and their services. So I just kind of wanted to outline a few things just to kind of help make these things I guess you could say understandable. So let's kick it off with the very first one, and the very first one is the most important one because this is one that I witness a lot happening, and that's checking your monthly bill, especially if you're on auto pay. Now, the reason why it's very important to check your bill, especially when you're on auto pay, is because you need to know what you're being billed for and what you're being charged. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, a lot of people go months, even years, without checking their bill, without noticing a specific charge on their bill, and then they get absolutely frustrated when they decide to one day say, let me look through my bill and see what's going on. And they pull up their bill, whether they get it through e-bill or if they get a paper bill, and they go through it and they find several charges and they don't understand what these charges are for, so they call in irate, pissed off, cursing, yelling, and they want answers immediately, and they want to cancel their service because they're so distraught, they're so upset. But while they are accusing their mobile service provider for these charges that appear on their bill, technically it's not the provider's fault. You are in control of what you pay for. You're in control of the services that you have, and you have the ability to check your bill, which is something that you should be doing even if you're on auto pay. And even if your monthly payments, say you are on auto pay and your monthly payments have been consistently $100, so you're like, okay, I don't see any fluctuating in my bill, so it must be billed the same every month. But if you don't know what charges are on your bill, it makes those charges valid. How can anyone fix that for you if you're not taking the time to look at your financial obligations and see what you're being charged for? Therefore, if there's something on there that shouldn't be on there, it can be corrected and rectified right then and there. Nip it in the bud. So I basically would state to anyone out there, check your bill. Even if you think you're being billed correctly, just check your bill. Be sure, double check, and not just one time. Do it consistently. I would say every month. Even if you have auto pay turned on, check it every month. It doesn't hurt you to read. Seriously, it doesn't. The second misconception has to do with mobile phone insurance. This one is a doozy because people's idea of paying a monthly rate for insurance and then getting surprised when they file a claim, they have a deductible for the phone and they're tripping out about that. Well, I'm going to basically explain that in a nutshell on why it is the way it is. So, first off, I believe, I don't want to say all, but I'm pretty sure it's all carriers use Asurion, which is a separate company from your provider. So Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint, they are not in charge of the policies set forth by Asurion. So don't confuse the two, okay? Now, before, years back, I want to say seven years back, maybe 8 years back, maybe 10 years back, with the insurance, the way the insurance program worked was if you had a damaged device, or if it was water damage or lost or stolen, if you had insurance on your phone, they would send you out a replacement device. Now, a lot of people were doing these claims so they can get double the amount of phones, because the way it worked was, especially if you had like a damaged device, they would replace that. They would send you a replacement phone. You would send back your defective phone. That was the end of it. That was great, right? I mean, you got a replacement phone, but now they're charging deductibles. And the reason why, why they've been charging deductibles, is because of basically some fraud. There have been people who've abused the system. And so deductibles are put in place basically so that, when you file an insurance claim, it's something that is technically a legit thing. And of course, too, today's devices are super expensive to compare to what they were in yesteryears. So devices have gone up in price. But they've gone up in price, doing these insurance claims there's going to be a form of deductible. And you know, people will say it's unfair, but think about it like this. Your car insurance, you have insurance on your car and you get into an accident, you need to get it repaired, you pay a deductible and the insurance company covers the rest. And the same concept works here. If you have $1,000 phone and your insurance deductible is $200, it's because the insurance is covering $800 of it. You're paying $200 of the amount to get a replacement phone. So the idea that you have insurance and you're paying the insurance premium every month, you know, you feel like it's going to be free. It's not. Think of the insurance for your mobile phone as the same as insurance for your automobile. It's not really much of a difference, even though they're two different categories. So if you have insurance on your device, know this: there will be a deductible to replace the phone. Another common misconception has to do with leases or installments or the combination of both, and the fact that if the phone is broken, lost, or stolen, it absolves you of your responsibility to the debt. This one's a huge one because I think the way that people are looking at it is that these are just cell phones. It's no big deal. So if they lease a phone for 18 months, 24 months, and then something happens to the phone, they feel like they're not obligated to pay the remaining amount for the remainder of the contract term, which is furthest from the truth. Yes, while these are cell phones and they're not a big deal to you, at the same time, they kind of are a big deal to you because you're getting them to use them and you're picky about which phone or which brand you specifically use. But on top of that, these phones are costing almost $1,000 nowadays. So when you lease a device, or if you have it under installments, even if someone broke into your car and stole it, took off with the phone, or the phone broke and no longer works, it doesn't absolve you for the remaining amount of payments that's remaining on your contract term for that device. It's not one of those situations where you can be like, it's broken, it's not working, why should I pay for it anymore? It kind of goes in the same concept of like, if your car breaks down or you wreck the car. So if your car breaks down or you wreck the car, even if it's not working anymore, when you lease the car, you're still obligated to pay for it. And then the same thing goes with the phones. If you lease a phone, you're obligated to pay off the remainder of the term if you're going to cancel it or close it out, because you still need to pay for the phone. If it's not working or if it went defective, whether it's your fault or the manufacturer's fault, it doesn't absolve the debt that was accrued because you decided to lease the phone. Best option here is that if you're one that doesn't like leases or anything like that, buy the phone out full price. Just buy it out full price and you own it. Because if you lease it and it breaks or it gets damaged, you can argue until the moon comes out. No company is going to forgive that debt, because at the end of the day, you leased the phone or you got it under installments, you're obligated to pay off that phone, regardless if it's in working condition or not in working condition. It sounds unfair, but life isn't fair. But at the end of the day, look at it from this concept. If you had a car and you loaned it, or you were going to sell it to somebody, right? And that person was going to make payments on it, and the car broke down on them, does that give them the right to stop paying you the rest of what they owe you for that car just because the car stopped working? Think about it like that. So anyways, those are some common misconceptions that consumers basically deal with on a day-to-day. That's what I kind of make a video to help clear up, so that maybe it'll make, you know, the dealings with your mobile service provider much more clearer. And you know, the last bit of advice that I would say is that if you are calling in for major issues and you want the representative that you're talking with to help you, as angry as you are, might be a good idea to just not completely curse that person out. Because hey, if you're looking to get help, who's going to want to help somebody that is being belligerent and downright rude, regardless of how angry they are? I mean, you'll probably get the better help and probably the best help and the best experience if you just state what's going on and listen, proactively listen as much as you want them to listen to you, listen to what they're saying, and find a middle ground. So that's my advice to anyone out there. And if you guys like this type of video or want more insight about these types of things, I'd be more than happy to make more videos like this. So just let me know in the comment section of this video. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you have not, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one.